If you click on this video, you must be a doormat. If you feel overwhelmed, allowing people taking you for granted and sacrificing yourself to make people happy or cannot ever say no, you are an absolute doormat. I used to be a doormat, people pleaser, a trash where people step all over me whenever they wanted. But not anymore, because this year, this girl right here has mastered setting up boundaries and stopped being a people pleaser. I don't allow people to walk all over me anymore because I know how to stand up for myself. So on today's video, I want to share with you how I could stop being a people pleaser and set up my boundaries so you can be the best version of yourself. Hi angels, if you're new here, I'm Liv and I'm here to take you to a journey where you can be the best version of yourself and create the life that you dream of. I used to be the girl who struggled with low self-esteem, people pleasing and feeling unworthy, but through working on myself, I have discovered my worth and live my dream life. And I want to help you to do the same. And thank you so much for all of your love and support by watching this channel. If you haven't, please like and subscribe this channel because I want to see you soon. For all of my girls, you are an absolute people pleaser if you 1. Overcommitting by taking on too much on your plate just to please other people. 2. Saying yes to everything even though you know you don't want to do it or you can't even do it. And 3. You have a fear of saying no. Oh, Liv, if I say no, I'm scared that they will hate me, they won't like me anymore, or they'll talk bad about me. Girl, if you say no and they talk bad about you, it is not a you problem anymore. It's telling you about who they truly are. And to be honest, you don't want to be friends with someone who feels so entitled that everything has to be the way they want, and they can't even respect your boundaries and your decision. And if you're stuck in this mindset for so long, probably your whole life, let's take a moment to check on yourself. Do you feel so overwhelmed with so many things going on in your life? Do you feel stressed, tired, and burnt out continuously, even when you have enough sleep? And do you feel resentful and angry all the time to certain people? Small things that they do make you feel irritated and frustrated. Imagine this is what you feel every day all year long when you are being a people pleaser because you simply cannot set in your boundaries and your own limits. When you don't have boundaries, you try to please other people to the extent that you don't have a personal boundary. You put other people first instead of yourself. You put your needs aside by constantly trying to meet other people's expectations and sacrificing your own goals, needs, and dreams just to be liked or accepted by other people. In the end, you feel like you're going crazy. Girls, where is your limits? Where is your boundaries? Do you even realize you have lost yourself the whole time? You have to be aware of your own limits because you cannot keep being in this mindset where you overly committing into something that drain you, take away your energy, and make you going crazy. This is when you need to set up your boundaries from all of these people to protect you, your mental health, and protect your relationship with them. There are a lot of misconceptions around that if you set up your boundaries, it breaks the connections, or you're being selfish or controlling. Listen to me, it actually helps you to maintain healthy relationship with them by setting up your boundaries because you care about yourself and your relationship with them. It is the only way where you can protect yourself by creating mutual respect and expectation on your relationship with them. So setting up boundaries is not that you are not being nice. It is not that you are being mean, rude, or you're being a bitch. Those things are all of the things that I was thinking when I was being a people pleaser. I was scared that I came across as mean or not nice, and I continuously wanted to meet people's expectations just to be accepted or liked by them. And in the end, I felt like I was overcommitting and I didn't know who I was because I adopted what they like or dislike just simply to please them. And whenever I felt like I didn't want to hang out with certain people, or because I was tired, or because I had a lot of things to do, I was scared that they will hate me if I say no. So I end up saying yes and committing to the events, even though deep down I just want to run away. So when these things happen continuously, I started feeling angry towards myself and those people around me. I resented them so much. It actually will not be a problem if I could just simply say no. Hey, I don't want to come, or hey, I can't come today. I just need a lot of things to do. So speak up my boundaries and knowing my limit. But then now you must be asking me, how can I know my limits, my boundaries, and my priorities? To be able to set up your boundaries, you have to know your limits and priorities. First thing that you want to think is, who is the most important person in your life? Is it you, yourself, or is it your best friend, or is it your sister? The answer is supposed to be you and yourself. Then hear me out. Starting from today, you only need to focus on yourself, your limits, and your priorities. Other people's feelings and needs, they don't matter. To know your limit, you have to focus on yourself, and that is the first thing. You can know your limits by knowing what is your triggers and who is the person who triggers you the most. So start by asking, who is the person who drains your energy the most and make you feel angry or stressed? What kind of situation that make you feel stressed or angry? And start by reflecting why those people or situation trigger you so much. For me, it's when my friends tell my personal stories or my privacy to other people. It makes me so angry, and it happened a couple of times. So her actions were my triggers because I felt like she didn't respect me. I felt like my trust had been broken. I felt very disappointed of her because this is basically just girl code, right? So things that I don't appreciate when it happens so many times and it's starting to make me angry, it tells me that this situation has reached my limit. That is how you could know what is your limits, by knowing what triggers you the most and understanding what is your responsibility in the situation. So the next time, my responsibility is I won't ever share my personal life to her, knowing she will tell other people. Or I could choose to tell her my limits and my boundaries so I won't ever happen again. What I chose, because I don't want it to happen again and again, and I still want to be friends with her, I communicated and set up my boundaries to her. Hey, I don't like what you did to me. I felt very uncomfortable. I will appreciate if you stop telling them about my personal life because it is my privacy. So when communicating your boundaries, you have to point out what you don't appreciate, how it makes you feel, and what is your expectation for other people to do or stop doing. When you used to be a people pleaser your whole life, setting up boundaries are very daunting. You feel very uneasy, like it is a hard job to do. You have a fear of rejecting people, and half of you still want their approval. But then again, if you think about yourself and your mental health and you want a balanced life, you gotta do it for the sake of you. When you set up your boundaries for the first time, let me be honest with you, people won't like it. They will hate the new version of you and they will get upset about your boundaries. It is because they get used to seeing you as the doormat. They used to get whatever they want from you and treat you whatever they want, and you used to be fine with that. So when you set up your boundaries, they will feel like, oh, wow, okay, now you have boundaries. Like, how dare you do that? Then also it's because it seems very bizarre. It's very different from it used to be. They don't like it, right? Now they can't get what they want from you and they will try to push you back to your old boxes, which is the old version of you. This is what my psychologist said to me. They will try to push you to your old boxes, which was a people pleaser, in order to get what they want. I remember when I stated my boundaries to my sister for the first time, it was about paying half of the maintenance fee. I communicated to her I didn't want to pay half because I knew it was not my responsibility to do that. She did not take it very well. She did not respect my boundaries. So instead of respecting it, she tried to push me to do what she wanted, which is paying half. Maybe because she was surprised that I suddenly said no. Maybe she's surprised that I suddenly had boundaries and I communicated clearly that I didn't want to do it. I usually always said yes to paying half without even thinking about it. But I realized over time, no one in the world really cared about me, how I'm feeling. No one truly cared about what we are struggling of. What they care is about benefiting themselves, asking you to do something that can benefit them. The only person who cares about you in the world is only yourself. Some people, they don't really realize they take advantages of you. They don't really mean it. Sometimes it is also because of the lack of knowledge. So it is our responsibility to tell them what is our limit. I did not want people to take me for granted anymore, especially when it's around money. We have to realize our money is our own responsibility and we need to communicate our limits for the other person to understand our expectations. This is when I need to set up my boundaries, and I did it. The response was not really great. There was no respect on my boundaries, and especially when so many people involved and pushed me into breaking my boundaries, it made me feel like maybe I was wrong to have boundaries in the first place. Maybe it was wrong to say no. Maybe I should have just paid half so there will be no drama. If you have set up your boundaries and people don't respect that, don't ever think your boundaries are wrong. It's simply the people are not respecting it. At that time, I almost broke my boundaries, but I think about it, if I did not have a firm boundary, People will keep walking all over me, taking me for granted for their own goodness and leaving me with being miserable and stressed. So I put my feelings aside of being a bad person because this is meant to be. It is very normal to set up boundaries and people just need to simply respect them. So if people put a lot of pressure on you, trying to break down your walls, you need to stand up for yourself by saying, hey, can you stop doing that? You are doing what you need to do, okay? What you do is right. And think about that this is your life. You need to be able to protect your peace and you don't want people to use you anymore. I'd rather have people hate me than me sacrificing my life, my time, money for those people who don't even respect or appreciate it. When people don't like you or hate your boundaries, remember, it is not about you. It is telling us about them. It is telling us about who they are and how they see us. If they are not happy with you having boundaries or even try to break your boundaries after you communicating to them, it tells us about who they are and if they are worth of our time. After watching this video, I want you to remember that setting boundaries doesn't mean you are a bad person. It's to protect yourself and your energy. Knowing your limits, triggers, and priorities are important for you to be able to communicate your boundaries and your expectation from other people. I hope that this video can help you to set up your boundaries and stop being people pleaser, because this year, I want you to be the best version of yourself and start prioritizing self-care and your own mental health and well-being. So thank you so much for staying until the end of the video. I hope to see you guys soon, and please spread the love to people around you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.